Let's get into the Cynthia Nixon story. I was like, damn, what is in the water over there within the Cynthia Nixon household and the people she hang out with? Because she's talking about that her eldest child, as well as her sister's kids and her friends' kids, are all transgender. So now Nixon joined the hundreds of demonstrators that took to the streets of Manhattan on Monday to protest NYU Langone after the hospital canceled at least two children's appointments to receive puberty blockers following this mess that Donald Trump, his war on the trans community. So yeah, they're doing that in New York. And funny enough, Letitia James, who is Trump's favorite person, was recently out here, and I'm paraphrasing. She said pretty much the doctors, y'all need to ignore this foolishness that Trump is out here doing. And she's a New York prosecutor, so she's like, don't listen to this fool. Y'all can continue to go with business as usual in regards of providing children the healthcare, trans children the healthcare that they need. So now the former Sex and the City star, well, now she's on the sequel, and just like that, who's 58, took to the mic at the pro-trans children protest to speak about the order and how it cannot happen in New York. She said, most importantly, I'm here today as a mother of a proud trans man. This is what she said as she packed the pride crowd as St. Vartan Park roared. I'm here today as an aunt and as a proud trans man. My best friend's kid is trans, and my kid's best friend is trans. My wife and I, our lives are filled with the most amazing, beautiful, brave trans people, young and old, but especially young. Her remarks come after NYU Langone Health, a leading health hospital system in the Big Apple, began canceling appointments for minors who are scheduled to receive implants that dispense puberty-blocking medication, the New York Times reported. Oh, I didn't even know y'all were that fancy with it. I'm like, wait, y'all got implants that you put in the body that literally can dispense. Because look, the old school trans people, they'll tell you they had to go in and get their moans, which means they got to go in and get their shot or whatever the case is. But now I didn't even know y'all had these these things that you inject into the body, an implant that can dispense their medication. So it's like they know at a specific time when you need to get it in your system, which I think is actually pretty high tech and cool. But the fact of the matter is we have a government who is jumping into people's personal business regarding what they should and shouldn't do with their kids. We need to be tending to yours, Trump, and the fact that one of yours allegedly got a booger sugar addiction, among other things. That's what you need to be focusing on instead of worrying about what other people out here, kids, and how they live in their lives, denying them the care that they need, so that way they don't end up taking their own lives. Now, NYU has long been known for its trans-friendly policies, and it has been recognized as an LGBTQ plus healthcare equality leader by the HRC Foundation for 10 consecutive years in a row, according to its website. Now, in June of 2018, Nixon saluted her firstborn child, Samuel, who came out as trans 2 days before the homosexual pride parade. Now, during Monday's protest, Nixon spoke about how Samuel had his top surgery done at NYU a number of years ago, saying his doctors were fantastic. She said during the protest, his surgeon was the best we could have imagined. And the idea that the city is filled with young people who thought they had a place to go where they can receive the highest care, and that place has now been shut to them, sickens me to my core. Now, word quickly spread among parents of trans children after NYU canceled appointments for two 12-year-old children who had been scheduled to undergo the procedure this week. One of the children had been due to have a small device which would release a puberty-blocking medication called Serprilin LA implanted into the upper arm on Thursday. The father told the Times that his child's doctor blamed the inability to proceed on the new administration and suggested that he tried calling other hospital systems in New York or a hospital in Philly that he recommended. The second 12-year-old child was scheduled to have the same procedure on Friday. The mother told the Times that she was only informed of the cancellation on Wednesday, one day after the executive order was issued. Now, when she questioned the hospital's reasoning, the medical staff told her that they were awaiting some guidance. Now, parents were are horrified and terrified. This is according to Clark Wolf Hamel, or Hamel, executive director of the nonprofit organization PFLAG, and this is what they told New York One. Now, children who do not receive the care have significantly higher rates of unaliving themselves, or depression, or of anxiety of not being able to thrive in this world. Around 3% of teenagers in New York State between the ages of 13 to 17 identify as transgender, the largest percentage of trans youth in the US, as it's nearly twice the national average. And I think a lot of times people come to New York because they feel like this is the one place where they can be themselves. This is the place where we welcome all aspects of races, creeds, sexual orientation, and gender. No questions asked, no judgment. I mean, yeah, you got your ignorant people, but it is what it is. New York is extremely liberal, but now we have this moron in chief who's over here, because he learned a new word, executive order, that he could just go around and try to tell people how to live their lives. And I really wish that, a lot of times, a lot of these kids are getting the puberty blockers because they want to be able to know if this is something that they really want to do. Like, it gives an opportunity to decide, okay, is this a surgery, down the road that I want to take? So if I want to get the puberty blockers because I don't want to transition, get breasts and all this other stuff, they should be afforded the opportunity to make that decision. If they decide to change their mind, then they can take the implant out. But who are these people to determine what people should and shouldn't be doing? That's none of your damn business. But they're not even trying to see trans people as human beings. So they said, I wanted to say that the last 2 weeks have been an assault, a barrage of so many horrific things coming at us from every direction. You don't even know where to look or how to try and block the horror that is coming in our direction. And she's absolutely absolutely crowd, because I'm reading it said the noisy crowd. She's absolutely right with that. And it's not just like, I understand like her primary focus is on, trans youth, because that's something she's encountered dealing with her trans son. But I feel like that's just a general thing. Any of us who are not white male and got a lot of money, rich, we're getting a whole bunch of a barrage of stuff coming at us from both sides, from all sides. Pulling back a lot of stuff in regards of women's issues. Trying to roll back Black history, but then they dragged his ass and he refuted on. He changed back his mind on that, and so many other different things that's going on. So it's just like, yeah, this is what we're dealing with. It's like so many things coming at firing us at all cylinders. And it's like, we're all stressed out over it. And one of my friends recommended, he was like, where are the town halls? Where are the people that are actually going to put something together to speak on like what's going on, so that way, because we're like freaking out. We're nervous. We don't know where to turn. I got friends that are moving out of the damn country. One of my friends is moving to Canada. Another friend's moving to Thailand. So people are like ready to pack up and leave because they feel like, I guess they feel defeated. So they don't want to deal with the BS. And this is what he does. He wants to stress everybody out. So that way, while he's doing all his other mess, allowing the oligarchs and the robber barons to pretty much clean us the fuck out, while we're all sitting up in here trying to figure out, how to come up for air and fight all this mess head on. And then we have the Democrats who ain't doing nothing. No, the spineless damn Democrats who are sitting around just like, my God, what's happening? I don't want to fight. I don't have the energy. Okay, then move out of the fucking way and let people who actually want to fight the good fight come in and fight. And the only ones that I see that are out here that are really saying something, and you can say how you feel about her, and she ain't perfect, but at least AOC is out here windmilling hard. At least we got Jasmine Crockett going in on the racists and speaking out. At least we got Bernie Sanders, trying to reassure people that, what, with all the craziness that's going on, it's going to be okay. We're going to make it through this whole situation. We don't have a new person that's running the Democratic Party, which is what he's doing. Somehow, well, there's good billionaires. Yeah, his dumb ass said that. This ain't what we need to hear right now. We got a bunch of damn billionaires funding this bullshit. One of them being Apartheid Clyde, who I didn't vote for his ass. And I'm sure the Trump supporters didn't vote for his ass either. But apparently he's got a lot of power where he could just do whatever the hell he wants. He's literally got the keys to the American kingdom and is doing whatever he wants, including access to our Social Security. So he should not be having that. There's a lot of things that is just like, this is treasonous behavior. This is These are federal crimes. They all need to be thrown under the damn jail. But we got people out here who just want to sit on their hands and do nothing. So what do? Because I've been saying this for the longest. Politicians are not the people who have made change in a lot of our laws. It always comes from the people. We're the ones who have to rise up, get out there, march, get in the streets, and say, we're not taking this bullshit anymore. Then you get the politicians who are the opportunistic ones that want to jump up. And I'm sure there's a couple of them out there who are just like, I'm tired of the BS and it's not an agenda for them that want to come in and fight the good fight. And that's what we need right now. And we ain't getting it from the damn Democrats. Because a lot of y'all are spineless, and I feel like a lot of y'all need to leave. And we're going to remember this shit come 2026. Because when is the midterm? Yeah, 2026. We're going to remember this in 2026 because it's like, you ain't out here windmilling for us like you're supposed to be. Or we're going to remember, make sure your ass no longer has a job. Because if you didn't want to do stuff when the times was tough, then I would hate to see when it's just like everything is going great. So look, she also said there are a lot of people here and we are mad as hell. Yes, you go ahead, Norma Ray. We mad as hell and we ain't going to take it anymore. She said, New York is better than this. NYU should be better than this. Shame. And I used to work at NYU, the Hospital for Joint Disease. That was like literally my first job ever. It's funny how all this stuff connects, right? NYU is better than that. Shame. And thank you all for being here. We must return again and again until this crime is reversed, she concluded before handing the mic off. The PAC protest comes less than a month after President Donald Trump signed an executive order banning federal funding for trans sex changes for minors. And you know what? I love the fact that even though I'm not hearing it from the media, maybe because I'm not watching legacy media, so maybe they are reporting it and I'm not hearing it because, like I said, I don't watch them. I'm glad people are out here hitting the streets and protesting. Now, basically what this executive order means is that it threatens to withhold federal dollars to healthcare providers if they continue providing transition treatment to patients under the age of 19. They've escalated the attack on us, so we have to escalate standing up for each other. This is what Emma Lazarus, a Brooklyn resident, told New York One during Monday's demonstration. It's going to come to other people's power on the streets, which is literally what I said. It's up to us at this point. We cannot depend on politicians to fight our fight and save us. It has always been that we the people stand up and make the change. It has never been politicians. Yeah, eventually they come around because they see an opportunity to get a vote, so they'll sign an order and they'll campaign on the back of that. But 9 times out of 10, it's the people taken to the streets. That's how, Black folks, we got a lot of the rights that we got, taking it to the streets. Now, Trump signed the executive order condemning the practice of sex transition surgeries for minors, noting that countless children regretted the surgeries that mutilated and trapped them into fighting a losing war with their own bodies. Well, child, first of all, if anybody is fighting a losing battle and mutilating themselves, it must be you, because that shade of orange is not your color. So you don't even want to be the natural color you was born, but you out here sitting there telling trans people what they should and shouldn't be doing with their own damn bodies. When you actually show up as a damn cracker at one of these events, instead of showing up as like the worst shade of tangerine I've ever seen, then you can sit up here and tell people what the hell to do with their bodies. So yeah, that's the latest on this story. And I definitely want to hear from you guys. What do you think of this latest report and the fact that we have Cynthia Nixon out here revealing her story and sharing her story and speaking, fighting the good fight for our trans brothers and sisters. So whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below.